Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. In our last deep dive, we explored the human in the machine, looking at how we balance AI autonomy and human oversight. And most of that chat operated under one big assumption, that the people building these AI systems were doing it in good faith. Well, today, we're going to shatter that assumption. We are confronting the deliberate, malicious weaponization of artificial intelligence.
So this really is the core question for us today. We all know AI is a dual-use technology, right? It can be a massive force for good, but its power is neutral. So what happens when that exact same power is pointed directly at deception, disruption, and conflict? And let's be clear, this isn't some far-off sci-fi problem. The dark side of AI is here now, and it's a huge challenge to our infrastructure, our finances, and even our social trust.
All right, so here's our game plan for today. We'll start by talking about this shift from accidental problems to intentional attacks. Then we're going to dive deep into deepfakes, the AI deception engine. From there, we'll level up to cyber warfare, where AI is literally becoming the weapon. And finally, we'll break down how AI is turbocharging propaganda with massive disinformation campaigns. Let's jump in.
Okay, let's get started. Up until now, we've mostly talked about AI problems that happen by accident. Things like algorithmic bias or the whole black box issue. And those are absolutely critical issues. But they assume the system went wrong by mistake. Today, we're looking at something totally different. We're talking about systems that are designed to be weapons from day one. And we're going to break this all down with a few key technical questions.
First on the list, deepfakes. And really, this is where AI goes for the jugular. It's a direct assault on our most basic senses, our ability to trust what we see and what we hear. It's the perfect starting point because it shows just how scarily easy it is for AI to completely blur that line between what's real and what's fake.
So let's get specific. What are we actually talking about here? I mean, the word deepfake is everywhere, right? But the threat is really two-sided. You've got the fake video or audio itself, which is bad enough, but then there's this sneakier secondary effect that just eats away at the very idea of truth. We've got to understand both parts. So yeah, the name itself, deepfake, is a mashup of deep learning and fake, and it is exactly what it sounds like, using these incredibly powerful neural networks to create fake media that looks, well, real, hyper-realistic. An attacker could take a video of a CEO and seamlessly swap their face onto someone else to make an announcement that crashes their stock. Or they could clone a politician's voice from a few interviews to create audio of them confessing to a crime. And the goal here, technically speaking, isn't just to make something that's good enough. The goal is to make a fake that your brain literally cannot tell apart from the real thing.
Okay, but here's where it gets really scary. This is that secondary effect I mentioned, the liar's dividend. Once everyone knows that perfect fakes are possible, what happens? Well, it gives any bad actor a get-out-of-jail-free card. A politician is caught on a hot mic saying something terrible. Now they can just shrug and say, nope, that's a deep fake. It completely poisons the well. Suddenly, no video or audio evidence is trustworthy anymore.
So you're probably wondering, how in the world is this level of realism even possible? What's the tech? What's the engine under the hood that makes these fakes so convincing? Well, the answer is a really clever, almost beautiful AI setup that's built entirely on conflict.
And that technology is called a Generative Adversarial Network, or GAN for short. Now, a GAN isn't just one AI model. It's actually a team of two neural networks locked in this constant battle. The best analogy? It's like having a master art forger and a brilliant art detective working against each other. The forger tries to create a perfect fake, and the detective tries to spot it. And they're both getting smarter with every single round. Let's break that down a little more. You've got two parts here. First, there's the generator. That's our forger. Its job is to create the fake media, say a human face, and just keep getting better and better at it. Then you have the discriminator, our detective. It's been trained on tons of real data, so it knows what a real face looks like. Its only job is to look at what the generator makes and call out fake or real.
And what this creates is this incredible, super fast feedback loop. The forger makes a fake, the detective points out exactly why it looks fake, sending that feedback back. The forger learns from that, adjusts, and tries again. This happens millions of times. The forger only improves because the detective is getting better at spotting the flaws. And eventually you hit this point where the fakes are so perfect that the detective is basically just guessing. It's got a 50-50 shot. At that point, you've got a forgery that can fool a human, no problem.
Now, you might be thinking this is all about politics or messing around on social media, but this tech has already jumped into the world of big money crime.
Let's look at a real-world case that shows exactly how this goes down.
So back in 2019, we all got a huge wake-up call. There was a CEO at a UK energy firm who gets a phone call, and on the other end is his boss, the CEO of the parent company in Germany. Or so he thought, because the voice wasn't just close, it was a perfect match. The tone, the German accent, the way he spoke, everything was spot on.
And this boss tells him there's a super urgent secret deal, and he needs to immediately wire 220,000 euros to a supplier. The urgency, combined with that totally authentic voice, it was convincing. So he did it. He sent the money. And, poof, it was gone. Laundered through a bunch of accounts and it just disappeared. He wasn't tricked by a person. He was tricked by an AI.
And this is the really critical takeaway, especially for us in the tech world. This wasn't some phishing email with bad grammar. This attack completely bypassed all the red flags we're trained to look for. It went for something much deeper, much more primal, the trust we automatically place in a familiar voice. It literally weaponized a part of our human nature against us.
Okay, so we've talked about attacking the human mind. Now let's pivot to attacking our digital systems. Because in cyber warfare, AI isn't just a tool for the hackers anymore. It's becoming the hacker itself. It's not just making fake stuff. It's becoming an active, autonomous weapon. You know, for the longest time, a really sophisticated cyber attack needed a team of brilliant human hackers and a lot of time. Well, AI is changing all of that. It's automating and speeding up the whole game, creating a new breed of cyber weapons that are faster, smarter, and way more dangerous than anything we've seen before. So AI is basically giving malware a massive upgrade in a few key areas. First up, polymorphic and metamorphic malware. See, old-school antivirus looks for a virus's fingerprint. Well, this new stuff uses AI to rewrite its own code every single time it infects a new machine. It's a brand new virus every time, making those old detection methods totally useless. Next, AI is a beast at finding zero-day flaws. Those are the security holes that nobody, not even the software makers, know about yet. And AI can scan for these weaknesses at superhuman speeds. And finally, AI-powered spear phishing. Forget those generic spam emails. An AI can study you online, learn how you talk, and then craft a perfect, personalized email from your boss that's almost impossible not to fall for.
Okay, so when you put all these pieces together, you get to the logical and frankly pretty terrifying endpoint, a fully autonomous hacking agent, a piece of software that can do it all. So what does that actually mean? How would it work?
Imagine an AI that isn't just a program a hacker uses. It is the hacker. You could just give it a high-level goal, like steal the R&D files from this company, and from there, it's on its own. It would run the entire playbook, the whole kill chain by itself. First, recon. It scans the target, finds the weak spots. Then, weaponization. It builds a custom piece of malware just for that weakness. Then, exploitation. It breaks in, moves around the network, getting more and more access. And finally, exfiltration. It grabs the data, sends it out, and then it cleans up after itself, deleting logs and covering its tracks, all without a human ever touching a keyboard.
And look, if you think this sounds like something out of a movie, it's not. The proof of concept for this has been around since 2016. DARPA, the military's R&D wing, held this thing called the Cyber Grand Challenge. It was basically the Olympics for hacking AIs. These bots had to find and exploit weaknesses in other bots, while at the same time finding and patching their own flaws, all in real time, zero human help. It proved without a doubt that this isn't science fiction. This is where cyber warfare is headed.
All right, so we've gone from attacking minds to attacking machines. Now we're talking about attacking society itself. If deepfakes are about targeted lies and AI malware is about breaking systems, then disinformation, well, that's psychological warfare on a massive industrial scale. And its target is the one thing that holds us all together: trust.
I mean, we've all heard about social media bots, right? We've been dealing with them for years. But what AI brings to the game is a total game changer. It's a quantum leap. We're not talking about those dumb, spammy script bots anymore. They're being replaced by something way more sneaky and a whole lot harder to catch.
Yeah, this slide really lays it out. The old bots, they were clumsy, generic profiles just spamming the same message over and over, easy to spot. But the new AI-powered bots, man, they're a completely different animal. They use the same tech that powers things like ChatGPT to talk like a real person, and the same GAN tech from Deepfakes to create profile pictures of people who don't even exist. You can create thousands of these completely fake but totally believable synthetic personas. So now you've got this digital army of fake people. And with it, you can pull off some really powerful manipulation tactics. One of the biggest, and one that AI has put on steroids, is called astroturfing.
The name is pretty clever, right? Not grassroots, but astroturf, fake grass. And that's exactly what it is, faking a grassroots movement. The goal is to manufacture the illusion of popular opinion. An attacker can just flip a switch and have thousands of these bots start talking about some fringe idea all at once. Suddenly, it looks like a huge organic movement. It can trick algorithms into making the topic trend, and it tricks real people into thinking, wow, everyone is talking about this. Maybe I should pay attention.
So, what's the end game here? Why would a country pour millions into building these propaganda machines? Well, the ultimate goal is often way more sinister than just getting you to vote for one person or believe one thing. A lot of the time, the main goal is just to create chaos. It's all about what you see here. First, destroy trust. Trust in the media, in science, in elections, in everything. And they do it with something called the fire hose of falsehoods, just flooding the internet with so much conflicting, crazy information that you don't know what to believe. The point isn't to convince you of their lie. The point is to make you so exhausted and cynical that you give up on the idea of truth altogether. They don't want to win the debate. They want to burn down the debating hall. Okay, I know, that was a lot. A pretty sobering look at how AI can be weaponized. We've seen it used to attack our senses, our computer systems, and our entire society. So the big question is, what now? Where do we even start to build a defense against all this? So let's try to pull all of this together. If we had to boil it all down to one key takeaway, what is the threat landscape that we're really looking at? It really boils down to three major fronts. First, there's this hyper-realistic deception from things like deepfakes, which just tears apart our shared sense of reality. Second, we have these autonomous cyber weapons, making digital conflict way faster and scarier. And third, you have this industrial-scale manipulation using bot armies to attack social trust itself. And these aren't separate problems. They're three battlefields in the same war, a war on trust. And this brings us to the most important point. The only way we can defend ourselves is on two fronts, technology and people. On the tech side, it's an arms race, plain and simple. We need to build AI that can fight AI, AI to spot the deepfakes, AI to hunt the malware. But that's only half the battle. Tech alone isn't going to save us. We also have to build up our own resilience as a public. We need to become more critical, more digitally savvy, and just harder to fool. And that's really the thought I want to leave you with. Because at the end of the day, the ultimate defense against a world full of intelligent deception is a world full of more intelligent and more vigilant humans. The best firewall isn't software, it's us. So to wrap up our deep dive today, the weaponization of AI isn't coming, it's here. From deepfake scams to autonomous malware and massive disinformation campaigns, these threats are real, and they're getting worse. Fighting back means we need a whole new way of thinking about security, one that puts cutting-edge AI defenses hand in hand with good old-fashioned human critical thinking. Now, we've spent a lot of time today talking about the problems, about the threats, which of course leads to the next big question: what are we going to do about it? Well, that's exactly what we're going to cover in our next deep dive. We'll be looking at the road ahead towards resilient and ethical AI ecosystems, and we'll dig into the actual solutions, the tech, the policies, the strategies we can use to fight back. Hey, thank you so much for joining me for this really important conversation. If you got something out of this, I'd really appreciate it if you'd subscribe to the channel Tech, AI, and Beyond for more deep dives just like this. Thanks again, and I'll see you in the next one.